Is 1, 2, 3 people. We could stop at say 7. So let's say everybody gets 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or just whatever you want.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you for the intro. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Should I boom more? I'm Steve Watson. This is Luna. Luna's with me whenever I read. She helps prevent outbreaks of seriousness, which happens. So I guess I'll read a couple from my series called First People's Poetry. I'm often struck by everything that's been cut down and banished and then named after what we sent away around these here parts. So this is the traditional, you guys watch me scroll. So this is called Tellurian, or the cause of effect. Perhaps the butterfly is not to blame. Perhaps the powdery wing beats merely flashed their color dance for whomsoever may have glanced up just then, over there, far, far over there. Perhaps this storm is not to blame. Perhaps the water-blown daggers merely lashed their violence for whomsoever may have chanced out just then, over there, way, way over here. Perhaps the butterfly is remembering the geometries and paletteries of all the many flowerings and brought them into the bare air as testament, as floating memory. Perhaps the butterfly is not to blame. Perhaps the storm is not caused. Perhaps no thing there is causing everything here. Perhaps the wing beat is simply showing how the world turns, how the spheres collide, combine. Thank you. This is called Medicine Solace. Quick little intro. There's no word for goodbye in the Cherokee tongue of Tsalagi. Instead, we say Donada Govi, or until we meet again. So this is called Medicine Solace. And this is from your fox story. I know the bear, watcher, courage, unpredictability. I know the snake, wisdom of initiation. I know the wolf. I know a pack of them, loyalty, intuition. I know the spider, though I pretend I don't, shadows, communication. I know the owl, or I pretend I do, insight, clairvoyance. I even know the fox. I may be the fox. Cunning, hidden messenger. I know the bobcat, the alligator, patience, revenge, and other far-off beings lost to this space, but not lost on me, not lost to me. I know the bat, secrets, longevity. I know the cougar so well that I call her not by her first name, but the first people's names. I call her catamount, painter, puma. I call her panther, mountain screamer. I call her amigo de oncha. Foresight, leadership, silence, patience. I know the coyote, the crane, ingenuity and folly, vigilance and independence. I know the heron, the lynx, self-reliance, balance, guardian, listener, guide. And each of these, each medicine, each is prayed for and each prays on, each arrives from some inchoate world. Land, sky, beyond all sight. An answered wish, a plea, a demand. And each a predator, one who wrings life from flesh, that it might deliver its song, its dance of medicine to one so foolish as me. And yet the hawk I see today, though predator, is the medicine of solitude, near enough, far enough, alone enough, apart enough, alone, alone. Hawk, arc, lofted, lifted, hawk, medicine, alone among the Nadagovio. Thank you. This one, we'll find out together what it's about. This is called Unreserved Thanks. It's November, nearly, now October the something. The leaves, so long supple have crisped, have lost their color and come to their color. The first color the white man takes now, 'tis of. I've reservations at the reservation for April something, some Friday evening or Saturday, was it? I'll dress up. There'll be a needless dinner. I won't call it luxurious, but it isn't needed, and what isn't needed is overmuch, unnecessary, past the bounds of others' wants. I've reservations at the reservation. I had no reservations about the reservation at the reservation. I simply knew it was in some distant, promised, assured future, some needless evening of distraction, entertainment, some extra night, some fun, some laughs, some oohs, some ahs. I'll skip the slot machines and green felt tables. I'll skip the sounds and silent fury. I'll skip the line too, VIP something. On the reservations at the reservation, I'll go on unnoticing some folks from the reservation, true to my lineage. I won't mean to. I will, though. I always have. We always have. So often that the fury won't well up in the fellow handing me popcorn. So often that the rancor won't unnerve the one holding their nerve and my program guide. It's so likely that the unlikely, great, grand, modest, grand, humble, grand, uncelebrated, grandchild of grief, of warrior, of dancer, of speaker with wolves will hand me a car park stub or sweep up after me or dim the lights at show starter, scrub the toilets after. I'll enjoy my evening and no reservations. I'll just repeat that because he was out.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Beautiful reading.
Thank you. It's very hard not to fix the typo I saw in the middle. I'm like, oh. This is called The Cave Never Taught Me. I don't know how we are on time. Am I pushing it? Okay.
What's it called again?
The Cave Never Taught Me. This guy, jeez. Thank you very much. The Choctaw never taught me what the Choctaw would have taught me. The Australopithecine never taught me what the Australopithecine would have taught me of. The memories, these memories, our memories, are fading songs in an echoless cave. The listeners have tired, moved on. The choir sang regardless, for a time. And in time, the silence overcame the joys of recalling, and the calling out was no longer met with a response. The ochre greened over, the iron dust fell from frost and puddled dryly on the floor. Summer winds, hot and desiccating, soon scoured the walls and ushered out the swirling cinnamon sand. The drums beat to mineral-rich cave dew on occasion, a sometime rain that formed cones. They stretched with weatherings, sometimes taut, sometimes loose. Their stories lost, nothing taught. In time, their skins followed their long-lost bones into the buried, burned, and carved, now broken, empty bones home. The silent, tumulting earth, the cold overlay of the singeing beneath, the singing stalled. The echoes bounced for a time from voice to ear, to wall, to child, to wall, to stone, to dust. The stars never taught me what the stars might then have taught me, the dreams and dancing, the tremulous and then credulous tremolos, the inspiration of ululations, the song stories of people, of healings, of wilds, of ways, now silent. This silence in this echoless cave is the most wanting, most missing sound. sound I've ever heard. The cave never taught me. The music never taught me. The drum never taught me. The dance never taught me. The cave never taught me. The fire is out, the embers lost. The handprint remains on a wet wall in a dim corner in an out-of-the-way Screefield crevasse just past the Creefield impasse. The teachers are gone. The ancestors quiet. The cave never taught me. The silence may yet. This one might be more romantic. I don't remember though, might not be. Hopefully I'm disguising my hatred for the world and humanity. The mic's not on, is it? Okay.
I want to thank you. We haven't shared passion.
This is from a series I call Diary Pooretry, where I'm just kind of in a poetic mode, and I'll just basically write what happened without trying to make a poem, but it kind of feels like I'm stealing poets' language, but I don't feel like I'm fitting into a form, which is kind of how my life is. So this is untitled. I think most of them are. Locked our valuables in the rusted boot of the sky blue Corolla. Lifted a soaked hunter plaid overshirt onto a lichen-painted moraines memory. Stepped onto the blue trail, having left white trail, or was it silver? We stood in the kitchen of the dead, imagining where the carriage ricketed over, the once inspiring, long fallen, now inspiring fieldstone glacial gravel bridge. We stepped through the rustle brown leaves, tripping on and tripping out over rocks and roots, under leaf and underfoot and understory, with eyes, with lens, ouch, with toes. Mountain laurel overhung the quiet stream upstream of the decayed bridge, whose stones now tipped kayakers wrapped by raptors in the bent canopy overhead. Along the precipitous ridge, beaver sign, downed ash and beech, shagbark too. No birch to be found, neither sky reaching or rotted on the ground. The beaver felled a leaning tree which fell into a diseased tree. The broken tree hung up the angled oak. Perhaps a beaver pup, not yet wise in the ways of heartwood hingery. The widened river quieted and eddied now, enough for reeds to stake a claim, enough for reeds to birds to stake a claim, enough birds for who knows who to stake a claim. The birds alarm, evaporate from bare underbrush like noisy smoke, so briefly drawn across and up into the empty sky. Somewhere the cry of haunted, or leastways haunting, canine. Further along, rot got a chestnut. Taproot to treetop, no longer up there, now consigned for the time it takes beetles and moss, woodpeckers and bacteria to disassemble into an assembly of sweet loam. But taproot to treetop now, over there. In time, the path broke into choices. We chose high and found brown mushrooms and eyed greenery pretending to be flowers alongside the ankle-threatening path. On along the winding river where beaver had generations passed and tasted most every sentinel of bark and sunlight and green, we paused at the oxbow and spied an ocean forest, waving back true. We turned and clambered up the slope to find a spill of gemstones, some flecked, some inclusions somehow, some promised a later glint, some seemed not to belong, a shaman in the city. We waved to the myriad wonders and stepped along the impossible soil. A beaver barber-chaired another ash and pinned a pin oak against a riparian rock and a mossy ledge, and another ways a bit, an aspen perhaps, had fallen hard, and from its base sprung 9 strong, willfully willing their way to blue. Then the split view between 2 streamside trunks, one mushroom-ridden and the other with a jaguar spots, and beyond, the textured soft water made whirly and curvy and bent by branches caught up in a long-ago current and branching of said stream variously sending itself off in varying paths. Lastly, sitting on a known stone, below the broken bridge, below the older broken bridge and lost bridge, below the forgotten dam whose pipe still sluices now, below the rapids and their ozone, their noise, their tumult, I sit beside the rock becoming sand beach, listening lately to the pebble wisdom where the river turns for a time to greet my toes, wondering at upstream, perhaps like me. What was it back then up there? Was it me? Was there laughter after all?
Beautiful. Those are awesome.
Thank you.
Honestly,